So Rasmus Ankerson says, in my experience, top performers are able to pinpoint extremely precisely the moment that they found inspiration and thought to themselves, that's what I want to be. At some point in time, they got born again. That's what we say is a born again experience, right? When you met Jesus, that point you met Jesus, that point of decision. It's for some people in the place of marriage, is that point where they met their wife. They say, glory came over. Somehow they just knew the fire lit when they saw the woman, they saw the girl, right? There is an encounter also in top performance, a time when you know, I don't want to be this, I want to be this. When it came to teaching, one time in my life, I told the Lord I wanted to do this. I said, with all the trouble I've been through, I would love to help people, not to go through the same kind of trouble I went to. So what you see as a commitment I made some 40 years ago. 40 years ago, I made a commitment to the Lord and said, I'm going to do this. I'm going to help people see the light, help people not to go through confusion, not everybody not be lost in all this Christianese language, so this confusion, deception of usage of words, people that don't know God. Do I see they sleep with God? You know, Eh, it's like I made a commitment 40 years ago. That's why I do this. That's why I do this. That's why I'm a teacher. That's why all I do is shed light. I'm not one that's gonna use big language, big words, and make you feel I'm spiritual or I'm this. Sorry to disappoint you. If you're a religious person, expecting me to be religious and all. Sorry, oh. I've been doing this the last 42 years, right? But I don't carry that on my shoulders, right? So work hard, stay focused, and passionate will show up in ways you never expected. When you work hard and stay focused, passion will come. You think I'm passionate about what I'm doing here? Because I work hard at it. I fall in love with it. I fall in love with it. I sleep in it. I wake up with it. It's all part of me. So there's passion because I've given my life to it. Give 110% to anything, you'll have passion around it. Easy to have passion on anything. What you give yourself to, you'll have passion around, right? And it will help your performance because your passion will drive your commitment, right? So it's all about how much you truly want it. That is a true catalyst for change. You gotta want it bad enough to be willing and able to pay the price involved. You gotta want it bad enough to stay true and fight the pain. You are not going to get to the other side unless you truly want it. Unless you truly want it, you ain't gonna get to the other side. You gotta want it, right? So the starting point of all achievement is desire. If you're going to achieve anything, you have to desire, you have to want it, right? Because there's pain, there's a price to pay. You won't pay the price for something you don't want, right? You want to marry someone, there's a bright price to pay. You won't pay the bright price for what you don't desire or what you don't want. All right. Keep this constantly in mind, right? The starting point is desire. You gotta desire it. Weak desire brings weak result. If you have a weak desire, you're gonna get a weak result. Just as a small fire makes a small amount of heat, right? You gotta want it. Some people want money, but they don't want it because someone has deceived them that money is the root of all evil. So they deceive them so that they can take the money from them. You want money, but someone has told you is a weak, but that same person wants the money from you. That person wants to help you from the evil, but he can hold the evil, you can't hold the evil. Those are thieves. All right. If you want money, go for it. Right? Money it's not it's a lust for money that's the root of all evil, not the love of money. Right. So the word love there in use in scripture, you need to understand what it's saying. When you talk about love, it's on a spectrum, right? It's on a spectrum of agape to eros, right? And the word there is lost in its meaning, not love itself, right? So nature yields our most profound secrets to the man who is determined to uncover them. If you really want it, you'll get it. And nature won't yield to you unless you really want it. It's going to test you. God's going to test you also. So Moses Kiptano says that recovery. Now talking about the need to, he uses the word recovery is as important as training, but not recovery in the same sense most people understand it. If you train, if your brain is working while you are recovering, it means that you're actually not recovering at all. Quality recovery is training. Just an extra point in terms of recovery when you're training. And probably also comes with what I do here or whatever it is that you gotta do. It needs to be balanced, right? It needs to be balanced. As much as I prepare for this, our life is a balance. You still need to sleep well, you know, you need to sleep well, eat well, exercise well. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Dari. Uh, you need to sleep well. You have to get a balance in life, and and so knowing how to do balance the different areas of your life is important. Knowing how to do this and also still be able to do other things in my life is important. And one of the things that was learned, and I think that comes next year, from Winston Churchill, one of the ways he was able to conserve his energy going to World War II with all the requirements, he had a way of being able to disconnect himself, unplug himself, such that he wasn't overwhelmed with all the requirements of the Second World War, and we all need to be learn how to unplug ourselves, I guess people get surprised that I'm still a full-time employee in all the things I do, but I am. I got to do 1,001 things and have to find ways to unplug from each one. When I do this and unplug from this one, that part of my brain that was doing this one when I unplugged is resting when I'm doing this one, you know. So just being able to know how to conserve your energy is important so you don't get drained, you don't get into a rut, so it's important to know how to recover and unplug yourself, that keeps you balanced. You need your energy to be able to live and work at a high performance in life, so that's important. You have to learn how to unplug, learn how to balance energies together. And in closing the chapter, it says, doing meaningful work is rewarded in itself, and we're willing to do more work for less pay when we feel our work has some sort of purpose, no matter how small, right? We're willing to do more work. I do this for free, right? Guess what? Because I believe it has purpose, it has an intent. I have other ways of making money. I say I need money, but this is not where I get it from. I'm able to do this for free because I can do other things to make money. This is a calling. I can do it for free. I have careers I do to make money. So you need to get a balance, between all of that. If it's a calling, you need little or nothing because it gives you joy. It makes you happy. Even my career, I got to do for nothing because I enjoy doing it. That's not to say I don't like the money. I need the money. I didn't get the bills paid, but I enjoy what I do. I do what I love. I love what I do. It just makes it interesting, you know. So hard work without meaning is a prison. You need to have meaning in everything you do so you can enjoy it. Ask those that work with me, they'll tell you I enjoy what I do. I have fun, good relationships. I pretty much work for free, because I love what I do. I do what I love. And we all can do that also. Really, that's the end of the book. That's all that we have to close this book. The gold mine effect, cracking the secrets of high performance. That's all we get to do here today.